Hi, I'm Shara Miller, President of the Cleveland County Arts Council and the host of Artworks. Welcome. We're excited to be here today. Spring is in the air, and that means lots of things happening around our community. My guest this week is Alice Kisubika.
Kisubika.
Yes. That's why I brought my cheat sheet to make sure I said it right. Alice is a new friend of mine, and we're going to learn all about you and your artwork. As a brief introduction, I will just say that I called over to Buffalo Creek Gallery in Uptown Shelby. I knew that they had some new artists that were affiliated with the gallery, and I said, tell me somebody that I can talk to today. Beverly Putnam was very kind to give me your name and phone number, and told me, he said, you're just going to love Alice. You're just going to love her. So welcome, Alice.
Thank you, Sharon.
So tell me, how long have you lived in Shelby or in Cleveland County?
I think I lived in Shelby for about 17 months.
17 months, so
That's
you
all.
really are new.
I'm very, very new.
Very new to the area.
We just, my husband and I retired. I retired about 3 years ago. My husband retired a year and a half ago. We lived in Atlanta for about 36 years.
Oh my goodness.
So when we were thinking about retiring, we said, where should we go? We cannot stay in Atlanta. We had been in Atlanta for so long. Our kids are grown and gone. We just needed somewhere quiet.
Yeah.
And previously to that, we loved the outdoors. So we've been coming to North Carolina for hiking, for doing all kinds of things outdoors.
Yeah.
So as we were thinking of retiring, North Carolina came to mind. But we didn't know where. We just said, where are we going to go? We have friends in Boone. We didn't want the mountains. We have friends in Charlotte. We didn't want the big city. We are like, no.
No.
So we just said, we have to find a place whereby we can feel at home and just relax.
Yeah.
So for about 2 or 3 months, we used to drive up to North Carolina, go to different little towns without any guidance, but just driving and sitting around, go to different restaurants, and we ask each other, do you see yourself here? Nah. So anyhow, to cut the long story short, we ended up in Shelby.
Oh, what a wonderful story.
And we just loved it, and we got a realtor, and he worked with us, and before we knew it, we had bought a little town, a little house in Shelby.
Oh.
We downsized. We didn't want a big house anymore, so we just live in Shelby. We love it, we love it, we love it.
Oh, that is so great.
Yes, we do.
So what did you retire from?
I was a nutritionist,
Nutritionist.
and I worked at this hospital for 21 years.
Oh.
So I was like, you know what? I need to do something different. And we love to travel. So we travel a lot outside the US, Europe, Africa, everywhere. But we were like, but we are not going to be traveling all the time.
Right.
We need some downtime. But so before retiring, one of my friends in the office brought in a quilt. And we are like, what is this? Of course, I had seen quilts before, but I had never known anyone who quilted. So she brought it. She had taken it to someone to do to finish it off.
Right,
You know,
right.
you quilt the top, and then you take it somewhere, and they do put on
Right,
the bottom.
yeah.
So she brought it. It was so beautiful. It was small but beautiful. And I'm like, how do you do this? She said, Alice, I know you are very creative. You can do it. I think we were 10 of us in the office, and she pointed at me and said, you can do it if you want. and I had a sewing machine, a new sewing machine for almost 5 years, doing absolutely nothing with it. So one time I said, come on.
Yeah.
And I took it out, and I had so many bits and pieces, my late father's PJs and everything, different things, and I started cutting. And I started quilting just little squares by myself.
Oh my goodness.
And my very first quilt ended up being a huge quilt because I included my late father's fabric, my grandma, I had little bits of everybody's,
Yeah.
So it ended up being a queen size quilt. And but it had no rhythm, no pattern, no nothing, but it was just all mixed up.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I took it to the lady and she finished it. And as I was going home to Uganda, I come from Uganda, by the way. As, when I was going home, I told my husband, I'm taking this for my mom. My husband said, but it's so huge. I'm like, yes, but I have to make room for it. So I took it. I have 10 siblings. So some of them were home. They said, oh my goodness, this is the so-and-so's fabric. This is grandma, this is dad. Who made it? I said, I did. They said, no, 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 no. You don't sew. You do not sew. Who made it? I said, I did. And they were like, huh? So that's how I started quilting.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere,
Oh.
yes.
So did you leave the quilt with your mother? Was it a gift?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you
Oh,
left
yes.
it with her.
I left it with her.
Yeah.
And I came back, I'm like, okay, let me do this, let me do it. So I started going crazy.
Yeah.
My son had been married for 5 years, so I said, I'm going to quilt a little blanket for the baby.
Yeah.
She wasn't expecting. My daughter-in-law was not expecting. But I said, let me just do something. So my son went to the University of Georgia, my daughter-in-law to Missouri. So I got fabric from their schools and I mixed it up together
Yeah.
and I just made a little quilt. But of course I kept it because they were not
Right.
pregnant.
Right.
And I kept that quilt for 5 years. They just had a baby. 10 years after they were married, that's when they had their first baby.
Oh.
So, but all that started, from quilts, I started sewing little pouches, different little things. Not for sale, but to give away. So I've been giving them away. Christmas time comes and I have a list, so and so's getting this answer. So I've been sewing and, just having a good time until my sister came from the UK. My sister and her husband came to visit Shelby. We had never been uptown, never. We were always on the other side. We didn't even know that there was uptown.
Oh, no.
So she comes to visit. They both love shopping. So we brought them uptown and we ended up at the gallery, Buffalo Creek Gallery.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so interesting. There was all kinds of items,
Right,
earrings,
yeah.
fabric, and all that. So my sister was like, "Oh my goodness, who does all of this?" And the lady whom we found, they said, "Local artists. They do all kinds of things, and And my sister said, "Do you have any quilts?" "Oh, we don't have any quilts. The lady who used to quilt doesn't do it anymore." So my sister started pinching me. "You can quilt, you can do this, you can do this." Anyhow, long story short, one thing led to another, and I brought in my quilts I had just finished making, and little purses, pouches, and I started quilting.
Oh. So, so we can thank your sister
Yes.
for your work being out there,
Exactly.
available to purchase.
Yes.
So, I find it, well, maybe I shouldn't find it hard to believe that y'all had never been into Uptown. I mean, you've only been here 18 months,
Yeah.
so.
But the thing is, with the travel, as soon as we moved into the house, we traveled to UK and Uganda and Europe for several months.
Yeah.
When we came back, we hadn't even unpacked. So we started unpacking. Then we needed a new floor, carpeting.
Yeah.
So we are busy doing all of that. Shopping was not one of our
Right,
things.
yeah.
We could go out every now and again to eat, but we had never been
Yeah.
uptown. So until we got company, we got relaxed, we said, let's go around and see the whole place. And that's how we ended up in the gallery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what a neat story. I mean, all of it is a neat story
Yes.
that just starting to quilt
Yes.
on your own and
Yeah.
without any lessons, any instruction or
Nothing.
anything like
Yeah,
that.
every now and again, I look at YouTube, you know, see, and you know, somebody told me, "Oh my goodness, you have bold colors." I said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
African fabric
Yeah.
is so bold and
Yeah.
very deep colors and all that." So
So what folks are looking at right now is just one of your quilts?
yes,
Okay.
that's one of my quilts. I cut it in strips, add it up. You know, my sister said, "But why do you have to cut it up and then
Sew it back together?"
I said, "Quilting is putting scraps together."
Yeah, yeah. Well, and now that one looks like there's a rhythm to
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yes.
so
there is.
after you did that first one,
I started forming a rhythm
Okay.
and a pattern.
Yeah.
And say, this, you know, these colors have to go. They are bold colors. They shout, but there's a story. There's a pattern. There's a rhythm. There's design.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and there's some examples of some of your other work.
Yes.
That, like you said, obviously that's an apron that
Yes,
folks are looking at right now.
Yes, that's an apron.
And the little
And-
bags.
And those are shoulder bags.
Yeah.
And I was in Uganda many years ago, and those were very, people loved shoulder bags. And they were made of fabric. So I said, you know what, I can make that. So I came back, I made those, and I put some felt lining to make it kind of firm. And
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
and
those
that
are.
size is so nice when you just need to,
a quick run.
yeah, something to put your phone in and maybe a
wallet.
little bit of money,
And
a
off you
charge
go.
card.
Yes.
I don't like carrying purses, but I like
I don't.
little ones like that. I mean, you
Yes.
saw I came in today with nothing.
With that, yeah.
That's why I like pockets or small bags like
Yes,
that.
yes.
So I think that's a very timely item that you're making.
Yes.
Alice, you have a wonderful story, and I want to hear more about you. But we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back, and we're going to learn a little bit more about you and what you want to, where you see this going in the future.
Okay.
Because I think there's
There's
still
something.
more in there that's to come out.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Arsenic, cadmium, fluorine, formaldehyde, rubidium, lithium.
Do yourself a favor and don't image search for exploding e-cigarettes.
What you don't know about e-cigarettes can hurt you.
Are you ready to take all this in?
Between your job, your family, and other demands on your time, life can get pretty hectic. So we want you to take time for yourself. Hi, I'm Jennifer Harrell, and I want you to join me for your health. Each month, the Cleveland County Health Department and C19 TV will explore topics that affect you and your family's health. We'll discuss the importance of exercise, a healthy diet, and regular health screenings and checkups. From fitness tips to warning signs to the latest healthcare news. For Your Health will help keep you in shape and up to date in Cleveland County. We want you to be your best, so join us each month for Your Health, right here on Spectrum Cable and online, c19.tv.
Welcome back to Artworks. I'm Shara Miller, and my guest this month is Alice Kisabika.
Yes.
And so glad to have you with us today and to hear about all your stories. And we were talking during the break. I didn't ask how many siblings you have, but you mentioned your sister that lives in the UK. And then do you have other siblings around the world?
I have 10 siblings.
Oh my, 10.
I have 10 siblings. I have a brother in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
A sister in Pittsburgh. And the other sister who came here was from York, England. I have a brother in London. I have a brother in Namibia. And 3 sisters in Uganda. No, 4 sisters in Uganda and a brother in Uganda.
Wow.
So I have 6 sisters and 4 brothers.
Oh. Is there ever a time that you can all get together?
Yes, we did. 4 years ago, my mom turned 90. So we all flew back to Uganda.
Wonderful.
And
That's
we
great.
just had a blast.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and we all try and stay in my mom's house. Oh my goodness, because nobody wants to stay away from the craziness and
yeah.
the warmth and the food and all that stuff. So we
Yeah.
all go in and we camp out.
Oh,
Yes.
how fun.
It's
fun.
very, very much fun.
Well, I'm so glad that well, you know, with several siblings living here in the States, maybe
Yes.
y'all can bring mom and
Yeah,
have
my mom and dad came to visit some years ago, and so they've been here twice.
Okay.
And my dad passed maybe 11 years ago, but when he was alive, he used to travel a lot. He used to, to get this side.
Yeah.
But we who are here now, 2 weeks ago, my nephew got married in Cincinnati. So we all my children came, and my nieces and cousins, and everybody was just a blast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I have to ask, did you make a gift for your niece, for your nephew?
I will, but for the wedding, they needed financial contribution. So we
okay.
did.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for them to settle down, and then I'll find out what their colors are, and I'll make a gift for them.
Yeah.
That's what I do usually for the newlyweds. I try and wait until they kind of settle down and see their thing.
Yeah.
But I've been making, this past week, I've made about 5 baby blankets.
5 in 1
5.
week.
Because my daughter-in-law had a baby about 4 or 5 months ago, and they had been waiting for a baby for 10 years.
Oh.
So once she had a baby, I made several quilts for the baby, and then she said, "Mommy, make some for my friends."
Oh.
So I've been busy trying to make baby quilts.
Yeah. That's how wonderful.
And it just gives me joy. Actually, at first, as I said, I was just quilting as a hobby. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy being in there cutting and making a mess and then putting everything together. Then in the end, I said, "Ta-da! Check me out." And my husband comes out and says, "Oh, that's nice." And yet I would expect him, "Wow, no," he said, "Oh, that's good.
That's when you take it into the gallery because you know that they're going to go,
Yes.
oh, that's
yes.
wonderful.
So
yeah.
the very first, when I took my stuff in the gallery, they asked me to put pricing. Because it was my first time, I wasn't so sure how much, how to price it. So Beverly calls me and said, don't undersell yourself.
Right, yeah.
So, but anyhow, they guided me on how, how to
Good.
price and all that, and I'm just having a time of my life.
So what sells the quickest out of the gallery? Can you tell yet?
Those pouches have sold quite a bit. Those cross bags have sold, and pouches for makeup.
Oh, okay.
Makeup
yeah.
pouches.
Yeah.
And these are new. I just made these totes. Those are totes. And those, okay, so on top you see all of those pouches
Right.
thrown around. Those are the pouches which sell
Okay.
most.
For like makeup and
Makeup.
stuff. Yeah.
A gentleman came in and says, "Oh, this is colorful. I would love to get one for my wife." So, so he came and took one, and then he kept on asking, "I'm wondering when I make something, I put there's a tag I put on my initials, and it spells G-A-N-K, gank."
Okay.
So the gentleman said, "I wonder what gank means." So, but I didn't want to say, "Oh, it's me, oh, it's mine." I just said, "I think it is the artist's initials." So, this is interesting. I'll take it. So, as he was leaving, he said, "I've met so many of the people who bring their stuff in here. I wonder if I can meet that. This is very interesting." And I was standing there giggling to myself. So the guy said, "Do you know when this artist will be here?" And I said, "Yeah, it's me." He goes, "Young lady, are you toying with me?" I said, "No, you asked questions and I answered, but I didn't want to, So
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, these are unique and different and all that, so I'll take it." So he bought it. He comes back in 20 minutes later, said, "I'm going to take a second one because my wife's friend will be very upset if she didn't get one." So, so he came back and bought it, and several
Yeah.
other people saw him and said, let me get one too. So those sell quick.
Yeah.
But I was home one time, and one of the ladies said, "I just sold your quilt." And that was a big ticket item. This guy came from Charlotte. He says, "I have to have this quilt."
Oh, wow.
So it depends. Some people come from out of state, some
Right.
are local, some, so they take whatever they want. And if there's something they want, and they want it in a different size, like a quilt, I'm willing to
Right. So you'll do custom
oh,
orders?
yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if they want special colors or sizes, oh, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Do you see? Do you have plans to try some new patterns, some different things besides the quilts and aprons and bags?
Well, I just added those totes are new, and I've made some duffel bags.
Okay.
Huge
Yeah.
duffel bag, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, and as long as somebody talks about it, it comes to my mind, why don't I try it? In fact, I have some reusable shopping bags also.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
A friend of mine says, "You know what? I really like these bags, but, I'm like, So I started making them. I think I have about 7 of them in the store
Okay.
right
okay.
now.
Well, that's great. And
Yeah.
so I know that a lot of the artists who have work at the gallery at Buffalo Creek, they just have it in there on consignment, but then there are some artists that work in the gallery. So are you one
Oh,
of
yeah.
the working artists in
Yes,
there?
I'm
Okay.
the working artist. We are several of us, so we divide up the days in a month, and I think each one works at least 3 days in a month.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, and when I'm in there, I enjoy seeing people coming in, looking. Some of them look at the colors. I'm like, oh, they are too, and others, oh my goodness, you know. So it's. I sit back and I enjoy
Yeah.
people's reaction and questions and all that. So yes, so I'm one of those who work in the gallery 2 to 4 days in a week,
Okay.
in a month.
Okay. Well, good, good. And for people who aren't familiar with Buffalo Creek Gallery, it is in Uptown Shelby.
Yes.
It is an artist co-op, and meaning that there's not an owner, there's not a manager. These are artists who create lovely work and sell it in the gallery.
Yes.
And there are a lot of artists, a lot of talented people
Very, very
with
beautiful.
wonderful work in there, and it really is it's an asset to Uptown Shelby, to
Yes.
Cleveland County, and we're very happy that it's there. So-
And when someone asks me, explain what the gallery is, it says it's a unique gift shop because it has a little bit of everything for everybody.
right.
And you're going to, wow. So it's eye-catching.
Yeah.
From earrings to aprons to pottery to artwork, everything.
Yeah.
To soaps and cologne, but all kinds of things.
There really are a
Yes,
lot of
yes.
unique items in there. It is a great place to shop for gifts
Yes.
or to just get something for yourself.
Yes,
It
yes.
really is.
Yes, it is.
Well, I know that the other artists at Buffalo Creek were thrilled that your sister brought you in.
Yes.
to,
And my sister, even up to now, says, Alice, 10%. Give me every time she calls, honey, did you sell something? I said, yeah. Okay, where's my 10%? she's one of those very funny sisters.
That's
She's sweet,
great.
yeah.
Well, like I said, I know that the others at Buffalo Creek are glad that you happened in there,
I know.
and we're happy that you and your husband decided to move to Shelby.
Shelby.
What an asset to our county, to our community.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you for coming here today and sharing your talents that just came from within.
From within, yeah. And I think they came in my old age. That's what my sons say. Mom, you never used to say. I'm like, yeah, but in my old age, voila.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you have more time now, I guess,
Yes,
than when you
yes.
were working and raising a family. And
Yes.
so
And I'm more
now
relaxed.
the creativity
Yes.
can come out. And
Yes.
so that's
And I thank you so much for having me. When I got a call from you, I'm like, huh?
I know.
Did she mean to call me?
Well, I will be honest. I was a little surprised that you answered my call because I knew you didn't know my number.
No,
so.
I didn't. But since I'm new, every number which says 704, I pick up.
You think it's okay.
It could be a doctor's office. Since I'm new, I'm
Right.
trying to settle down. So yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Well,
and I appreciated your
Thank
call.
you. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you being here with us and look forward to seeing you again next month. Thanks.